What's cracking with you people? Nancy here, and welcome back to Sonic Adventure 2 for the final bonus part. In this part, we are going to be going through how to get the remainder of the power-ups that I didn't get to showcase in the main playthrough. Right now, we're going to get Sonic's special upgrades, which is near and dear to my heart, because even though Knuckles has the ability to make you, catch these hands, one of the more memorable upgrades in Sonic Adventure 2 is Sonic's ability to get the magic hands, which, if I can stop bouncing for 5 seconds, I will show you how to get. You go down here, you go into this little crate, and you get the magic hands. What the magic hands let you do, or the magic hand is just a glove. And this glove allows you to turn enemies into little orbs that you can then pick up like an item and throw at them in order to destroy them. It's a fairly useless power-up, but it is a fun one to have on repeat playthroughs. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is that I forgot that you can't just cycle through it like how you would with Knuckles' dig and sunglasses. You have to be right next to an enemy. You hit B when prompted, and then you can head over to another enemy, throw it, and boom, there you go. Now in this one, the final rush, we're going to get the Mystic Melody, in which I'm going to finally explain what the Mystic Melody is. Now in the main playthrough, I was able to get the first Mystic Melody with Shadow, because Shadow's Mystic Melody is actually fairly easy to get. With Sonic's Mystic Melody, it's a little further in the level. You'll know when you come to the vertical grind rail that I did have troubles grinding back downwards onto, and then grinding back onto, and then you will go up, hit a spring, launch yourself over here, and then you will land down. And if you go to a rail, you will find 2 platforms on the side. You want to jump onto those platforms. One is a jet that will lead you over here. How the Mystic Melody works is that it allows you to get secret pathways, essentially. Think of it like a shortcut in the level. In some instances, it allows you to, for all intents and purposes, get extra rings, like with Sonic's Lightspeed Dash. As you saw earlier, I fumbled a bit and fell off because I was wearing the electric shield. The Lightspeed Dash and the electric shield have never played well together, and even now they still don't. They would eventually fix it in Sonic Generations, in which the rings weren't the trail in which you were Lightspeed dashing across. It was actually a light in the center of the ring, so you were able to fully go through it. As you saw with Knuckles, you were able to warp to a specified point in the level. Then, in that instance, since you found the Mystic Melody in a cave you can dig back out of, it warped you back to the beginning of the level. Now with Tails, we're going to get the final of the mech upgrades for both him and Eggman, in which you get essentially a cannon with a bigger blast radius. If you play Sonic Adventure 1, or you saw my playthrough I did on the channel, think of it like Gamma's extra blaster. It just makes the explosion have a bigger blast radius. With Tails' laser cannon, you get it at the very end of his first level, which is required of you to have the bazooka first. So a lot of these abilities you have to go back for after you get certain upgrades, as I believe I've shown a couple of times in the playthrough. Now, I pretty much explained everything that I can. Every other power-up that we're going to get is a variation of power-ups that have already been seen. And the footage does show exactly where to find them. Oh, for reference, this is a post-recording. Unlike a lot of the videos I usually do, which is mostly always live, this one had to be post-recorded. And I wanted to take the time to some of my final thoughts, as in the current playthrough, I wasn't able to do so with how the credits panned out. I usually use the ending credits to give my final thoughts on the game. Peel back the curtain a little bit here. I usually use the final credits to give my final thoughts on the game and to give my final recommendation. I don't think I'm at a point now to where my commentary can accurately convey the quality of a game the way I'd want it to, because I'm so scatterbrained, and I'll admit that here. But I would like to say that Sonic Adventure 2 is and remains to this day one of my favorite Sonic games in the Sonic franchise. I understand that it has some problems. I understand that it has not aged very well. I do fully and wholeheartedly understand that. But I still like it. However, even with that, this is one of the few games I've ever played that I have a hard time recommending to people. Because with Sonic Adventure 1, I will always say that when it comes to both these games, I can guarantee you're going to like at least 2/3 of this game. With Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, that is two completely different quantities. The Sonic Adventure 2, 2/3 of this game is 3 gameplay styles. And unlike Sonic Adventure 1, where I can say that the other 2/3 your mileage is going to vary, I can safely say you're going to enjoy the speed sections, which one of the best things that Adventure 2 improved upon. And I feel like you're going to enjoy the treasure hunting stages. I feel like more times than not, people are going to enjoy the treasure hunting stages. That's not to say that the mech stages do not have their charm. The problem is, I can only say that they are consistently good with Eggman. With Tails, there's a lot to be desired. But with Sonic Adventure 1, liking 2/3 of the game, I can guarantee that at least you're going to at least like half of it. Oh, quick tangent for the main playthrough. This is Spyro. This is what I got tripped up on. As it turns out, to get the Ancient Light power up, I was on the right track. I just forgot how to activate it. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to, right at the start of the level, ignore this rocket, hit this enemy. Don't hit that spring, but you can get back. Nope, don't worry about it. You can have a simple jump. You're supposed to get near this child crate, and a trail of enemies will appear. You jump up, and boom, you get Shadow's light speed attack. Or the light attack, as it's called in the game. But yeah, with Sonic Adventure 1, you're definitely going to like Sonic and Tails. Because Tails is just Sonic, but it's a racing mechanic. With the other one, the other third they'll bring it to a half, roundabout way of saying that, I know, is Knuckles. Because Knuckles plays like he is a good 3D interpretation of his 2D roots. But when it comes to the other 3 gameplays, I can guarantee you're going to like at least 2/3, because the Gamma gameplay is phenomenally good. It's short, it's simple, it's to the point. It encourages this kind of frantic, incredibly frantic pop and go strategy in which you're supposed to get more time by killing enemies, but you still have to move fast. Granted, you are given enough time at the start to get through most of the levels, but it's still a very fun and very rewarding gameplay. Amy's is your basic Mario, which I've gone over in Adventure 1, so I'm not going to go too in depth into it here. It's just they don't do enough with it, and Bait the Cat, your mileage will vary. And by vary, you're probably not going to get much out of it. But yeah, I feel like that's the ultimate detractor from Adventure 2. Adventure 2 is a much shorter game. It does a lot of things right. But also, I left that in. I left this death thing because I thought it was funny. But I also mentioned that with Rouge, no tangent, I'm sorry. With Rouge, you are going to need the Ancient Melody to get her version of the sunglasses, in which she can cosplay as Super Saiyan. But and you'll see right here. You just gotta go up here, hit this podium. A couple of things will appear. You need her Ancient Light and her Hammer Heals, I want to say. That will allow her to break these crates and get the get the treasure scope or the scouter if you're a DBZ fan. But yeah, with Adventure 2, it does a lot of things right. I still maintain that the treasure hunting sections would be better if you had the ability to find any emerald key, emerald shard in any order. And if that was the case, then the treasure hunting stages would be infinitely better. The speed sections are as good as they're going to get for the time. The momentum-based gameplay is still, in my opinion, the best 3D gameplay from a purely rewarding gameplay standpoint, not a spectacle standpoint like the Unleashed gameplay, which I still like Unleashed, but that's a whole other thing. Let me get to that one. But like I said, Adventure 2 is one of those games that is frankly mixed for me. In my mind, I have very rarely had a game that I could classify as being mixed. There are games that have had elements about it that I myself don't like, but never detract from the game. Adventure 2 is one of those games. But even in the games that I've had those elements with, I could still recommend it to fans. Well, not fans, friends. If you're going to pick this game up, I recommend borrowing it from a friend, or if you're at a friend's place, give it a shot. At a friend's place, and they have it as a download from one of the many virtual consoles out there. I recommend giving it a shot. Or if you see it in a bargain bin for like $2 to $5, definitely give it a shot. But Adventure 2 is just one of those games that, unfortunately, has enough mixed about it that has garnered a reputation for being an outright terrible game, which is frankly just not the case. But unless you grew up with it, unless you have the same nostalgic attachment to it that a lot of people do, you're not going to think it's an amazing game. But I still recommend you give it a shot just to see what a Sonic game with a lot of potential that could have been great looks like. Anyway, I've been Anansi, you've been awesome, I'll catch you later.